Democrats. Please stop trying to murder Donald Trump. That is the title of today's episode. You retards. Trying to listen. Assassination is not the way to get what you want. And your terrible shots. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's Monday morning.
You sound happy today.
I woke up about an hour ago, dude. I was reading some of these stories last night, but that's not the big deal because, like, I had a just weekend. Yesterday was date night with wife, so ironically, she and I went to the range and put a bunch of rounds down range, and then we went shopping. And I found a Halloween costume, so my kids are. I have an inflatable alligator. My kids are into alligators right now, so I have an inflatable alligator costume.
Do they know?
No, it's good. Yes, it's going to be amazing.
Are you going? You have to film that. You know this, right?
My wife. While I was trying to get into it, my wife recorded a video. She thought that was funny.
Dude, look, seriously, you can set up a camera. You can get a little home camera for $20 and set on the shelf over there, just a Bluetooth, just to make sure you got it, bro. Oh, that's hilarious.
So we had a bunch of stuff, and then it breaks, and I'm like, in the middle of the day, like, oh, another would-be assassin. Another person tried to assassinate Donald Trump at his golf course, surrounded by Secret Service. He has a Secret Service detail, but this is at his golf course, I believe. We're gonna get into it, but I just heard all this, and I'll go to bed. I'm like, God, but thank God, another person failed to do what they're trying to do. They're so afraid of him getting in the office and firing people that they're trying to kill him. Yeah. And so we're gonna, and we already know this guy's name and what he's done, so we're gonna get into that. But good morning. How was your weekend? Before we start,
my weekend was great. We finally got some rain from the remnants of Francine over the weekend. We hadn't had any rain in about a month, and we finally got some rain here, so that was kind of nice. So it kind of canceled some stuff that I had going on. I was going to be the MC of this inaugural event. It was called the Balloon Glow, and they was having all these hot air balloons come in at night, and they were glowing, and they were having bands and these old-fashioned carnival games, and I was going to be the MC of that event, and I was really looking forward to it, and it got rescheduled for I don't know when, but yeah, the fall is a busy time for Dave and I because we both have kids that are in the marching band and they're in the band. Fall is the marching band season. So Friday nights you normally have what's up, do good. We have football games that we have to do, and then Saturday nights we have the performances at competitions and stuff. And the parents work, man, we do so much. Moving equipment and getting equipment on the field, off the field, and cooking and chaperoning and tending boo-boos and everything.
My wife, so I don't know. Are you a member of the PTO?
No.
Have you ever been?
No.
My wife got, I guess,
Ashley's
wrangled
very
into it
and all that.
So apparently the school has like PTO of like, parents or whatever. And like, and then they wanted her to run for some position. And she was like, I don't have time for it. I can't do that. I have a real job. I have a job. I don't have time. She didn't do it. And then they called her, okay, can you come volunteer for this one thing or whatever? And then like yesterday I ended up getting a text. So I'm a member of the PTO board now.
Congratulations, JJ. Wow.
Yeah.
Sign my husband up. His name
no. They somehow wrangled her into it. I don't know. I don't really know.
It's not bad to do that. Ashley gets. She was very vocal when the mask thing several years ago.
Yeah.
She was one of the people that was very vocal about that. And whenever she has a problem, she has no problem emailing the principals. And the principal just emailed her back or called her back about something. And she doesn't do this all the time. Don't get me wrong. She's not one of those people, but there has been some legitimate concerns a couple of times. And she's more of that than me. I'm the guy in the back. I'm like the little Wayne behind Ashley. I'm like, yeah, Yeah, kick his ass. That's me.
Y'all better listen to her.
Y'all better listen to her.
Tell you what it's like when I don't listen. It's bad, and you don't want it.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah. She says you got voluntold.
Yeah.
Volunteer. You got voluntold.
All right. Okay, let's do the news. Sunday afternoon, breaking news was an alleged assassin, Ryan Ruth, has attempted to shoot Donald Trump. There was initially I think the New York Post maybe initially led with stories of like 2 men exchanged gunfire in vicinity of Trump. Trump is unharmed. Mm-hmm. And as though it's like it has nothing to do with Trump. It was just a couple people, in Florida just doing what they do normally and just shooting at each other. It has nothing to do with Trump. Oh, well, one of those people was a Secret Service agent. So actually, yeah, it was an attempt on his life. And but they ran him off and they recovered his backpack and his long rifle and a GoPro so that he could record it in first person. So, oh boy. God. You know what? Before we even start this, after the first attempt on Donald Trump's life, America was like shocked, right? We were like literally like, oh my God, what is happening? This is like out of that movie. This is unbelievable. And now it's the second assassination attempt, and we're like, oh yeah, they tried to kill him again. The level of shock is like it's not as high, right? Do you think
2 times?
Do you think it's possible that they're just trying? Yeah. So by the time it gets around to 7 or 8, we're just going to be like, is it even news?
No, I think
isn't that crazy?
I think the number one concern that needs to move to the top of our list, or needs to move near the top of our list, and that will not, is the fact that of what is causing this. And I believe that the rhetoric that the media and the Democrats just not watching their mouths for the past 4 years have caused unhinged people to do stuff like this. And it's the direct cause. It's not, they're unhinged to start with, but now you're feeding them nothing but this all day long. Okay.
Right.
There needs to be something majorly discussed about the major media, the owners of the major media, the places like the Associated Press, that all of these grassroots media, smaller media gets their, it needs to be discussed.
Well, I mean, think back. Remember, like, was it like 2 years ago? Like Biden gave the black and red, like Hitler speech about MAGA is an extremist threat to our nation, and we have to do something to stop them. And then for what over a year, the messaging out of the White House and Democratic establishment has been that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. Democracy is on the ballot in 2024. He's a threat to democracy. If he becomes elected, he's going to be a dictator on day one. This is the message that they have. Yep. And so how can you not repeat that message and not expect, I don't know, low IQ people or mentally ill people to take you literally,
and not even really low IQ people. They're grouped in there, but there are very high IQ people that are very easily duped.
Yeah,
you're very easily, and it doesn't matter. People are easily swayed. Me and my son Deacon had a talk about that over lunch yesterday, about the fact that how people are easily influenced. And I was looking around the restaurant and I said, do you think it would take more than 50% of the people in here to disagree on the subject, to get the whole, to get the majority? And he was like, yeah, probably. And I'm like, no, it would take one. If you get one loud asshole to start
Yeah.
talking, you're going to get 2 or 3 people to agree with him.
Mhm.
And then when those other people see that 2 or 3 people agreed with him, they're going to step up. I said, all it takes is one.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not low. Okay, so you're right. Low IQ is the wrong way to go. How about this? It's people that are easily moved by emotional rhetoric.
Right.
Right.
It's your emotions. Yeah. Easily moved by emotional rhetoric. That's
so
easily influenced by emotional responses.
When you put out the message that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, he's a threat to our way of life, there are going to be people, not all of them, but you don't need all of them, the wackos. There are going to be people who think, oh, so Trump is literally Hitler. So if I kill Hitler, I'll save America.
When I was 20 years old and super in my 20s, in my middle to late 20s, and super into politics, man, I was the same way. I was like, I hate this Obama guy. I mean, everything that I would listen to the talk radio, and I would listen to this, and I would get so enraged because I did not have the control over my emotion and my emotional response. It's not that we don't care anymore. It's that we were able to, it's not, I get just as mad as you do, but
right.
We're able to, and these young kids are not able to control stuff like that. And I don't even think this guy was young. He wasn't even young.
Yeah. So let's have a look at what we have here. This is on the Post Millennial. Alleged Trump assassin Ryan Ruth was a Ukraine fighter recruiter, Democratic donor, proclaimed democracy was on the ballot. It gets better too, because there's a few developments since this was written up last night. So here's the attempted shooter. Oh, but he's wearing red, white, and blue. He's a patriot, I'm sure. He's 58 years old. He's identified as a gunman suspect who nearly assassinated Trump at his golf course last night. Ruth's presence shows an obsession with supporting Ukraine and posts about saving democracy. He ran a website. This is from Andy. These are Andy No's posts. So we'll go over here to Andy No on X. He ran a website about basically recruiting fighters and volunteers internationally for Ukraine. Yeah. But he didn't recruit people legitimately. He was getting people into Ukraine without visa, without paperwork. He was just like getting people into Poland and then like smuggling people into Ukraine to be fodder on.
Oh, JJ, that can't be true. Where's the proof of that? I got some proof of that coming up in just a second.
As soon as he was identified, like Facebook took his page down, Twitter, X took his page down, but not before clever internet users screen captured his entire facility. Like, we've been through this before. You guys try to ghost this dude, ghost these people as soon as they go away. Now, somebody they went in and they recorded his entire feed. They did a screen record of his whole feed, of all of his posts, all of his tweets, all of his whatever.
I've got a 2-minute long here. Let me see. Let me bring this up real quick if you want me to. You can
sure.
Over here's
an ad where he's like, here, you want to get into Ukraine? Here's how you can get into Ukraine. You can get up to $1,200 a month. You don't need a visa. You just get gear and fly to Krakow, and then you take a train to whatever this place is, and then you get another train to this other place, and then you make your way to the border. And then after you get there, you call some of my buddies, and we'll put you with a unit. So, okay, so this guy's crazy. She's legit crazy, and he's putting people in harm's way, in danger. Let's see. But this is the guy. Half of his hair is blue, half of it is yellow.
That was an interview with Newsweek Romania, I think is what that was. Okay. The Romanian Newsweek was interviewing him there.
Yeah. So this guy who thinks he can save Ukraine is now thinks that he can save democracy, and he literally repeated democracy is on the ballot 2024, which is a direct Biden Harris like messaging point. All right, I'm gonna pull my I'll pull my page down. You can let me put yours up. Okay, there you go.
This was just I was just gonna run this in the background as we talked about him because there's no audio.
Oh, okay.
But this is just the screen recording of his Facebook page that they scrubbed. And you can see on here, I'm going to pause it. Soldiers, please do not. It's repeated. Basically the same information is repeated in every one of these posts. But it's we're still trying to get to Ukraine to accept Afghan soldiers and hope to have some answers in the coming months. If you're interested in fighting in Ukraine, you must have a passport and send it to me by way of WhatsApp to the number. And you must also have money to purchase an airline ticket. If you cannot afford the cost, you cannot go. And it basically repeats this thing through the whole.
You got to send yourself to war.
Yeah, you're paying. That's there's May the 4th. Trying to get invitation letters there. December 29th, 2023, saying the same thing. He's talking about Palestine. He's also trying to get folks to go and help defend Taiwan and South Korea against China. And so he's like a military, not even a military recruiter. He's like a freaking,
freelance mercenary recruiter.
Freelance mercenary recruiter. And here he is with his little company or whatever they did. They built temporary houses. And that's building the houses.
If I'm not mistaken, he built a temporary house.
Oh,
like one house.
It was.
Well,
that's it right there.
It was a company called like Cabin Box or something like that, and like they had like I could be mistaken about that. I only drove by that. So here's the pull that up. This is authorities found 2 backpacks, a GoPro camera, and an AK-47 style rifle and scope after a Secret Service agent foiled what is believed to have been an assassination attempt on President Trump's life. So I mean, we have like photo right from the scene. I don't remember what tab is. Here it is. And I guess this is the gunman he tried to flee and they got him. Okay, so they didn't get the most clever. So we don't have the most clever assassin trying to kill Trump, but there's going to be another one. And you know what? After the first assassination attempt, right-wing media was saying they're going to try to kill him again. They're going to try to kill him again. They're going to try to. And, okay, so a wacko. But some people out there are saying, well, this guy is an operative, or not an operative. He's an asset. So intelligence agencies, a lot of times, the way that they get stuff done is that they get lackeys. They don't work the situation themselves. They recruit somebody and they feed them information and they feed them, they set them up, and then they by proxy use this kind of a person to get something done. So
back in 2002 as well, in April 23rd of 2002, that dude was arrested for possession of a weapon of mass destruction. Did you see that?
What? Oh, what is that? How?
In 2002, he got probation. He got probation for it. I'm looking at it right here. Hang on. Let me share.
Weapon of mass destruction.
That's what it says. I heard that last night and I thought about it there a second ago, and I remember Ashley sent it to me. So hang on. Let me transfer it over here real quick. I'm just going to put it right there. Here we go. Let me share the screen. So there he is. Let me see about zooming into that. Is it going to zoom into it? Is it going to make it? No, it's going to make it small.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to tell you. Well, that it's even bigger right there. This is his. There's the most recent period of his supervision record. He was on probation, all that, and look, there you go. Suspended sentence. It goes through all this. Look, driver's license revoked. Hit and run. Can carry concealed. Resisting officer. Possession of weapon of mass destruction. April the 23rd, 2002, a class F felony.
Maybe it was fentanyl. It could. Is fentanyl? Is fentanyl classified as a WMD? Oh, does it give us a?
According to the Department of Homeland Security, a weapon of mass destruction is defined as follows. A weapon of mass destruction is a nuclear, radiological, chemical, biological, or other device that is intended to harm a large number of people. The Department of Homeland Security works every day to prevent terrorists and other threat actors from using these weapons to harm Americans.
I mean, okay, so that definition is broad enough to include a pipe bomb. So,
yeah. It could mean a plethora of things. Essentially, it's a weapon that can be used to cause a lot of damage to any sort of infrastructure or large population. Can be radiological, it could be chemical, and it could be nuclear. That could be explosive. All right. So, yeah, you're right. It could be a large amount of something for an explosive device. Yeah.
Here's one more. Where's mine? How come I don't have? Oh, it's this. Look at this. No, where's that? I don't have a share button anymore, Deke. What did you do? Why'd you take the share button?
Ashley says it's a tired play. It's to the point where conservatives knew to immediately search for that info and record it.
Right?
She's right.
Yeah.
As soon as people heard the name, boom, they're going everywhere and with screen record.
Here is a photo of the assailant's truck, Randy Ruth's truck. I'll see. You can notice that
you can tell that he builds temporary homes. He's got ladders on top of his truck.
Yeah, and look at that, straight up Biden-Harris sticker on his trunk. Yep. And there's one more I saw, and then we can be done with this. I think for today, we obviously will be revisiting this many times. I saw just a moment ago. Look at this. Commonalities between Trump's would-be assassins. Both Matthew Crooks and Ryan Ruth contributed to Act Blue. And they both used the encrypted communication app Signal, and they were both able to get a high-powered rifle within a few hundred yards of the president-elect. Isn't that interesting?
Well, I've got one more for you, JJ, that you may not even know that they have in common. Yeah. Maybe. Supposedly, Ryan Ruth also appeared in a BlackRock commercial, just like Thomas Crooks, and supposedly
really?
The action is appeal to what leaders?
Well, I'll be damned.
The action is appeal to what leaders?
How do these crazy people keep getting cast in BlackRock commercials?
Isn't that a weird? That's just, but honestly, that is honestly just a coincidence. Me as Deacon,
sure, of course,
and JJ on the Internet Dad Show, and I will speak for the Sinister Minister. This is just clearly a coincidence.
I can't tell you how many commercials have been filmed in.
Yeah, there's no way that any of this has anything that connects. So once again, I just like to say my name is Deacon, and I think that's just a stupid little coincidence, and we're not even going to mention that anymore.
Yeah, it's not a total coincidence. Vice President Harris came out with strong words many hours after the assassination attempt. Not immediately, but within the same day.
Did she really?
Here, check this out. For immediate release, statement by the Vice President Harris. I am deeply disturbed by the possible assassination attempt of former President Trump today. As we get the facts, I will be clear. I condemn political violence. We must do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to more violence. I am thankful for that former President Trump is safe. I commend the U.S. Secret Service and law enforcement partners for the vigilance.
This is just fluff. This is generic
fluff. Possible.
That word's a big one. The possible.
They had the gun, the GoPro, the backpack, the guy. They have all this information. They have him basically saying, I'm going to kill Trump.
That's a good word. Possible.
It's possible.
I hate to even bring this up, but I'm very curious about this. Do you think anyone in Kamala Harris's campaign has said, I'm okay, let me rephrase all of this. In a hypothetical book story that we're writing, about this.
Yeah.
Do you think
imaginary story?
That's fake.
Of course it's fake. That's fake. You know what? It's irresponsible of us to be a real hard news show and show memes. That's irresponsible.
But seriously, have they thought of the fact that if this very popular person gets whacked by a wacko, what is how much does the likelihood of her life being in danger go up? I would think it would go up astronomically. I'm trying to be a realist.
I mean,
ahead and thinking about contingency plans. And
okay.
stuff.
All right. So right now, today, in the environment where President Trump has been attempted to be killed twice.
I gotta do something real quick. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We keep going.
So in today's environment, Kamala Harris could walk around any town in America that is red for sure, and probably most towns that are blue, and she's totally safe. But the day after the left kills Trump, I'm sorry, like her ability to be safe goes down because we already talked about it. People get emotionally moved. People are reactive to their emotions. And if you don't think that a great deal of America is going to be upset about Donald Trump getting assassinated because you're running around screaming democracy is on the ballot, he's an existential threat to democracy, then I mean, the risk profile changes 100%. It changes. And that's not good. I don't want that. None of us want that. We want you guys to just lose like the losers you are. Just lose at the ballot box. Stop trying to cheat. Just take the L. Move on. Maybe wind down your socialist, communist, Marxist policies. Wind that down a little bit and win some regular elections. And maybe, just maybe, all the super blue cities that you dominate, maybe, I don't know, maybe adjust some of your policies so that the people in your districts are not suffering. So I know you were on the air, but basically what I said was right now, today, even in the wake of Donald Trump's attempted assassination, Kamala Harris could walk down any city in any red state and probably most of the blue cities too. And she's completely safe. She's safe. We're not going to do anything to her, but he gets on the phone. Can I repeat myself 3 times? All right. Let's see what else we have in the docket. I mean, a lot of it was
okay. I had a couple. Well, let's see. I had 1 or 2. I think you're gonna like. I had Sean Hannity initially talking about this. Is what I initially went in.
Okay.
Show notes, but I mean, we don't have to watch it. But it was Sean Hannity just talking on Fox News, breaking the news, and Sean was basically saying how he was invited to go golfing with them, I think, and he turned it down and whatnot because they were a bunch of good golfers. But he says something at the end of this. I remember now. I got a minute and a half, or I got a minute before. But this is a big long clip, but I'm gonna fast forward to the end here because I want you to hear what Dom said or Sean says here at the end about Trump.
Okay.
And others and the Secret Service that they were not harmed and that they are in safety. And I know the investigation will go forward, probably more detailed. I think Guts and then he related to me. I guess in typical fight fashion, Trump said to Steve, and then he related to me. I really wanted to finish the hole. I was even, and I had a birdie putt.
After all that, Trump was like, "Man, I really wanted to finish that hole. I was even and had a birdie putt."
Well, after that, like not even 18 hours after the first assassination attempt on Trump, he was out playing golf the next day. And he was playing with somebody, and they're on the green which is the part right before you putt to get into the hole, and he's playing with somebody and somebody hits the ball and they miss, and then Trump hits the ball and he putts directly into the hole. And then they were like, "Wow, that was really good." And he was like, "Yeah, well, like that, unlike the left or unlike that shooter, I don't miss." So Trump was telling jokes the day after he was shot before. Okay, this is the last one. I saw this morning and I wanted to show it to you. And then this was a law enforcement update as the search warrant was issued for the suspect's car. So check. What did I do? Did I just? Oh, it's on the wrong. Okay, I got it. I know how to do things. Here we go.
Yeah, so I was wondering what how this was able to happen, and for future reference, is there any up security in the golf course?
For future reference, is there any change in security at the golf course?
Didn't hear it all right. Say that one more time and talk up a little bit.
So how was this able to happen, and for future reference, is there any up security at the golf course?
Well, you got to understand the golf course is surrounded by shrubbery. So when somebody gets into the shrubbery, they're pretty much out of sight. All right. And at this level that he is at right now, he's not the sitting president. If he was, we would have had this entire golf course around it. But because he's not, the security is limited to the areas that the Secret Service deems possible. So I would imagine that the next time he comes to the golf course, there'll probably be a little bit more people around the perimeter. But the Secret Service did exactly what they should have done. They provided exactly what the protection should have been, and their agent did a fantastic job.
I got a great idea.
Yes, ma'am.
I got a great idea.
Yeah.
So across this country, there are thousands and thousands of vets that have come back, that some of them have succeeded and done very well, but there's a lot of them that haven't and are struggling, that are still capable people.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Trump hire some of them as like a private security force to protect him?
I'm sure he has
them,
private security.
Pay them something that they're not making now. They're having trouble doing, because they might, whatever. Give them, I guarantee you they'll protect him. I know
I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump has private security that are supplementing the Secret Service.
I would absolutely agree with that. But I mean, at this point, I would be like, all right, 200 of y'all want to help? Okay, I'll give y'all $50,000.
We are approaching the election. Not even 60 days after someone took a shot at Trump, and they don't have his golf course surrounded. They just have we just have the immediate area, kind of as far as we can see, just right around it. We got agents right there. I'm not saying that everywhere he goes needs to have an army, but I mean, do these guys know what drones are? How are they not maintaining area surveillance at all times?
That's what I was thinking of when he said shrubbery. The first thing that went through my mind was the first thing that went through my mind was shrubbery from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That was the first thing that went through my mind. The second thing was, why don't they have a drone with some predator vision goggles that can switch through 5 different layers of freaking vision? I was looking up here. I can't find. Let's see.
You want to defeat the U.S. government, folks? Here you go. This is what you need. It's what you need. We don't need F-15s. We just need a Bush.
I was trying to find. Why do you make it so hard to find some easy piece of information?
All right.
I'll find this piece of information. We'll talk about it later. I had one more piece that I wanted to talk to you. This is not about this. It's about Trump and Harris and the debate.
Okay.
But have you heard that this ABC whistleblower has came out and said that he's filed this thing, and they said that, okay, let me just read to you here what it says, and I'm going to read it to you. My name is blank. I reside blank, Manhattan, New York. I've worked for ABC News for over 10 years in various technical administrative positions. Since the acquisition of ABC News in 96, I've observed significant transformations in the nature of news reporting at the organization. These changes suggest a shift from unbiased reporting to a model influenced by external factors. For the record, I do not endorse Donald Trump in his capacity as candidate for president of the United States. The intent of this affidavit is to address concerns regarding perceived biases within news reporting within my employer's debate that will be hosted September 10th, 2024. Furthermore, Furthermore, the Harris campaign imposed restrictions on the scope of questioning, including no questions regarding the perceived health of President Joe Biden, no inquiries related to her tenure as Attorney General in San Francisco, and then they have something redacted, no questions concerning her brother-in-law, Tony West, who faces allegation of embezzling billions of dollars in taxpayer funds and who may be involved in her administration if elected. Internal organizational climate. I've observed a pronounced bias against Donald Trump within ABC News. Employees expressing favorable views towards him experience significant concerns about potential retribution. And then they have a couple of lines redacted. Purpose and documentation of affidavit. This affidavit is executed to document and provide transparency regarding the issues of fairness and impartiality in the debate process and broader concerns about journalistic integrity at ABC News. And then they go through whoever this person is goes through the affirmation of they say this affidavit has been signed. I notarized the affidavit. I sent a certified letter to myself. I also sent a FedEx package to myself. Both of them aren't being opened at all. I sent a certified letter to Speaker Mike Johnson to establish this, and to further the investigation, I have secretly recorded several conversations that will prove that the Harris campaign insisted upon not only the fact checking of Donald Trump, but also insisted on what questions were not to be asked under any circumstances, or else the Harris campaign would decline to participate in the debate. And this is supposed to be
in Springfield.
Oh, stop.
Oh,
no. Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So I have seen that. Let me just start with that's presented. Sorry, I'm not trying to attack the government. It's just I was just looking for bushes. So I saw the story. This is posted by Kyle Becker. We don't know. I don't think we know who is actually providing this affidavit, and I normally trust Kyle Becker. But if you look at the redaction page, the redaction page is, the notary page is redacted. So we can't like assert that this is legit and true because there's no notary stamp, but it's just blacked out where it says Notary Public. I don't know how much.
Where's that at? Oh,
I have. All I'm saying is
I didn't mean to throw that up there. I'm sorry.
Whatever that document is, like with all the redactions and stuff, I mean, like, I'm not taking that as like, I wouldn't take that as evidence right now,
Right.
Maybe it's true though.
Yeah. If it's true or not, that's what they're.
Listen, if you're going to get out there and be like, I'm going to take a stand. Did you get out there and put your name out there and say, yeah, they are cheating. Here's where they're doing it. But don't try to half cover your ass with a black marker and expect me to just gobble that up.
Right. I've only got one more political thing to show you today. And if you have not watched this, you're really going to enjoy this. This is very quick. All right.
Yeah.
This is just about 30 seconds long.
Okay.
People in Springfield, Dana, and they're telling me this stuff is happening. Dana, would you like to ask me questions and then let me answer them, or would you like to debate me on these topics? I noticed that when you had Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you gave them multiple choice answers to the questions that you asked, and you allowed them to answer the questions. I'm happy to be here to talk about policy, but if you're going to interrupt me every single time that I open my mouth, then why am I even doing this? So please ask a question, and I'd ask you to be polite enough to let me answer. And they're telling me
Watch
on these topics. I noticed that when you had Kamala Harris and Tim,
just watch her face.
Multiple choice answers to the questions that you asked, and you allowed them to answer the questions. I'm happy to be here to talk about policy. But if you're going to interrupt me every single time that I open my mouth, then why am I even doing this? So please ask a question, and I'd ask you to be polite enough to let me answer.
So uncomfortable. So uncomfortable.
Yes, I did that. Yes, I did that.
I don't like
these people are like reps. Listen, maybe you're a professional and maybe she's a professional, but if I was on the phone with somebody and they just started like telling me what I did and exposing me, my skin would get red. I would get hot and emotional and angry. I'd be like, how are you going to out me like this right here? Yeah, I would get mad. So I don't know how her face stays completely devoid of blood. I don't know what
because there's no blood in her body. She's a demon that
evil
beats off the
robot.
skulls of children.
Yeah, golly.
Oh man.
Do we have any fun news this morning?
I don't guess so. I mean, well, that's a
how about this? No. I got one.
You got one?
Folks,
okay.
There's hope. Yes, I want to give you hope. And we are being given hope by none other than Sweden. Sweden is going to provide hope. After a day like yesterday, a day as black as midnight, where crazy people, not at all directly associated with Democrats, tried to murder our president. We need some hope in this world. We need some sunshine. Thank you, Sweden, for some sunshine. Sweden is going to pay immigrants up to $34,000 to go home. So this is their...
Thank you, Sweden. I'm going to go buy some chocolate bars and some wooden. Oh, that's Holland. I was going to say wooden shoes. I'm going to go buy some chocolate today.
Yeah. The Sweden's center-right-led government will increase payments to immigrants to return home, addressing gang crime linked to immigration. Government Minister Johan Forsell described this change as a paradigm shift in immigration policy. Ludvig Aspling of the Sweden Democrats predicted that more awareness and higher grant would encourage people, especially the unemployed, to accept the offer. They're going to pay people to return, and that's not what's going to happen. Dear Sweden, I would like to tell you what's going to happen. They're going to take $34,000 from you, and then they will go across the street to Norway or something like that, and then they'll come right back. Or they'll take the $34,000 and they'll never leave.
So immigrants are getting money to come over here, and then they're getting money to go back home.
Yeah, they're on paid vacations.
Somebody could really rack up if they were from Sweden.
I mean, I cannot believe that Sweden thinks that this is a good idea. Maybe instead of paying them $34,000, maybe you should charge them a bunch of money. Maybe you should arrest them, seize their assets, put them in debt, and then send them home. Maybe that would work better. But this is called a magnet. This is how you get a bunch more people into Sweden to take your money to go home. That's a magnet.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
That was the best meme in our meme channel today. That's the best.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
The Venn diagram of that was just because Kamala loves Venn diagram. Remember,
Kamala, what do you think? Do you like it?
That. Oh my God.
I know. It's really tough.
Man, that hurts the brain.
Yeah, it does.
It reminds me of the Pelosi picture. I loved our Pelosi picture.
Oh my God, yes.
Podcast first started years ago. I don't know.
Skeletor.
Pelosi.
I have that somewhere. Certain people.
I think you have it as a bot command in the Discord server.
Yeah. I think I do. Yeah,
brings it up. All right. I don't have any music. I'm sorry. We haven't
No
been doing
music?
music because we can't bring it up on the screen and whatnot. And so I just kind of forgot. You want to now we'll do some music next week.
You know what? I don't want to end on politics. It's been a bummer. I got this one more thing I want to talk about. Do you have Amazon Prime?
Too. Yeah.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Have you ever watched Top Gear? Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond,
absolutely.
James May.
I watched it back in the day. Yeah, and I'm not even a big
yeah.
car guy, but I loved watching that show
So
and watching the Stig go around the courses. That was so awesome. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. So several years ago, like, I don't know, 2018 maybe, Jeremy Clarkson like punched a producer on Top Gear and basically got himself fired, and then the other guys quit. They went to Amazon and they started a show called The Grand Tour, which was surprisingly similar to
exactly the same as Top Gear.
And then for the last like 5 years, instead of a regular show, they do like a special every year. They do like a 3-hour special, and they go to some country. And they've been if you include Top Gear and Grand Tour, they have been traveling to countries all over the world, and reviewing cars, but then also just kind of like, it's just some guys having fun. It's pretty great show. On September 13th, about 3 days ago, they dropped the final episode of the final series of Grand Tour. It wraps up not only their series at Amazon, but it really wraps up their entire Top Gear career of 22 years. After this, there will be no more Grand Tour, and these guys are not be doing a show together anymore. They're still friends, I think, but they're done. They're hanging up the steering, their keys, I guess. So if you haven't already, or if you have Amazon Prime, you can go check it out right now. It's called Grand Tour: One for the Road. And the boys go to Zimbabwe, and at the end, there's quite a heartwarming moment where, as they're pulling in the final miles, and they realize like this is it. 22 years they've been doing the show and together and out on the road around the world, and this is the final time they're going to park their cars. And
I saw that video come up this morning. A friend had shared it on Facebook, and I saw it, and all he had typed was I'm crying or something, a little sad face, so you knew he wasn't laughing. And I was like, what is this? And I clicked it, and I saw the car driving down the road and whatnot. And then when it got into Jeremy Clarkson, I was like, nope, not watching this thing right now. I got stuff to do, and I can't be taking off the glasses 15 times and rubbing my eyes, and I can't do that. I'm not watching it. I'm not crying. So I haven't seen it. But I used to watch Top Gear. I didn't even know that show until I would go over to a buddy's house, and he'd always have it on. And watch it. And it was awesome. I was like, man, this is a really awesome show. It's funny. It was interesting. Yeah. And I'm not a car guy, but it was really cool. I loved watching that show.
The thing about they obviously really love cars. I mean, there are a lot of things, but they really love cars.
Everything about it.
And the thing is about people that are passionate about something and they love something, it doesn't matter if you know what they're talking about. The enthusiasm is what humans bond over. And so even if you're not a car person, you will find the historically this show in particular, but you will find this to be just super engaging. My wife watches it with me, and she doesn't care about cars either. So
yeah. Yeah,
okay.
They all three worked very good together.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
So you said no music today, and we'll be jokes. We got to do jokes.
We'll get some music for you tomorrow. If you want to listen to some music today, listen to. I'll pick you one out off the blue. Listen to. I'll put it in as our song of the day, Billy Strings, and the song is called "Red Rocking Chair." Okay, listen to Red Rocking Chair by Billy Strings. That's going to be our internet dad's song of the day. Billy Strings is a unbelievable guitarist, picker, and he is a great songwriter. So check him out. I mean, he's got a huge following. Hard to get Billy Strings tickets. And I think you would really enjoy his music if you haven't listened to him, JJ. Billy Strings. Excellent.
Billy Strings.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put the link in here in a minute in the Discord server. I'll look it up and get it.
All right. So over the weekend, my boss told me to attach these two pieces of wood together,
Yeah.
We were working on a project outside.
Yeah.
Until we put these two pieces of work together. I totally nailed it.
Nice. No, that was a good
Guys
one. That was a good one. That was a good one.
nice.
I reconnected with a friend over the weekend, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. He now writes music, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. What kind of music do you write?" And he said he writes music about sewing machines.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a singer-songwriter, or so it seems.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice. That joke makes sense if you've ever sewed.
If you're a seamstress,
Yeah.
all the rest
Yeah.
of you probably don't get that joke.
You're like, what does that mean? That doesn't make sense. Okay. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Rumble.com/internetdads.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter